So I live in Durham, North Carolina now, but I'm originally from a small town in eastern North Carolina called Little Washington. It's a 10,000 people. There's a beautiful river there. It's a coastal historic town. Tourism is like the only industry left. And there's a realtor there, the #1 realtor every year. Has a really interesting story. That's her, Gerri McKinley, sweet lady. And Gerri came from an abusive relationship with an alcoholic, and she wasn't able to start her career until age 50. But at that point, she was like, I want to pursue my dream, and she started a real estate company with another lady. Now, and this was about 2005. In 2005, the market was booming. And in waterfront towns, like the one I grew up in, I mean, the properties were selling hotcakes. People from California were buying them online without even ever seeing them. They were going up against a competitor who had been there been the #1 real estate company for about 30 years. They're not a national corporation or anything like that, but locally in Beaufort County, they were the top dog. They were the Goliath, so we'll just call them the Goliath Company. And the owner of the Goliath Company, we'll call him Robert Goliath, said, those little girls won't last 6 months. And so when they started Coastal Rivers Realty, there was only 9 agents. They had phones on the floor. They didn't have furniture. They didn't know what they were doing. But they made a goal that they wanted to get 30 listings in 30 days, and they did. And they put it out in public. They told the local newspaper, which is like 2 pages. And they got 30 and 30. So they said, well, let's bump it up to 60 and 60. They got it. Let's bump it up to 90 and 90. They got 100 listings in 90 days. So they took out an ad and said, thank you, Beaufort County, for 100 listings in 90 days. Then what happened? Everything. All these companies that had popped up during the boom in that little town had gone away, except for the Goliath Company, Century 21, and Coastal Rivers, which had then become a Coldwell Banker franchise. So I wanted to talk to her because there's something unique to me in my generation about what she does, because she doesn't use any of these new tools. She doesn't use any social media. But in 2018, they've grown to 40 agents. And when they started off, they were selling maybe 15 million a year. Now they've done 93 million last year. And the thing is, that's in a market where their average listing is $147,000. So that's like 633 listings for them. And 70 of them were Mrs. McKinley's. And they're selling like trailers. Like when she gets recognized with the National Coldwell Banker, it's with people who are selling like a handful of listings to get over 10 million. She's getting 70 listings. So I'm like, how is this possible if you're not doing any of this? And so I had the chance to sit down with her and interview her, and she said, we're barraged all the time with the next best thing, the next website, the next app that's gonna like make our jobs easier. But she's like, it's not the tools that makes the agent. She said, if I spend all my time doing that, I feel like I would be marketing myself and not my clients and the properties that I represent. Our best practice is to put the client first. She said, you are making a mistake if you think you are the star of the transaction. And now, when they started out, the Goliath Company had 50% of the market in that county. Now the Goliath Company has 30%, and Coastal Rivers has 42%. She said, we're in the relationship business. We're not in that business. They didn't want it to be one deal, and that's it. They wanted those people to think about them. There's not a lot of people in that town, right? They wanted those people to think about them when they listed again in 5 years, when their friends or family were looking for people. They wanted to build deep, lasting relationships. That's their 40 agents now. And this is their motto. We're your neighbors, we're your friends, we're your realtors. And she said, look, you can find any information you need to about a piece of property these days online. They don't need us for that. What they need is a teammate and someone to coach them through the struggles, somebody that understands what they're going through, can help them make connections. What they need is an advisor. That's what I do for them. I do more than sell real estate. And when the bottom dropped out, they saw a void, that people weren't getting that kind of customer service, weren't building those kinds of relationships. So it's about us finding what works for us. She doesn't just market to people that may buy or list with her. She markets to other agents when she has a property that might be good for their client. She markets to the lawyers and lenders when she has everything perfect so that their jobs go seamless and they remember her. She markets to the carpenters and electricians that she hires when they're trying to spruce up a property. She's making connections with all these people so that they remember her. And that is the point, is to make these lasting connections so that they remember you. Now they are the Goliath company. And I ask, how do you maintain those values when you're growing at this rate? And she said, it's about relationships. We focus on our relationships and we go back to our sphere. Those are the people that already love us. And speaking of deep relationships, I'm proud of Mrs. McKinley on a professional level, but also proud of her on a personal level because that's my mom. Yeah. Mama's done real good for herself. She still won't use Facebook. So, it doesn't matter what tools you use if you don't know how to use them, right? We can get better and we do need to use tools. I'm not saying that. But you gotta learn how to use them and how to perfect the tools that you have when you don't have everything at your disposal. It's not about them, it's about you. There is one tool to rule them all. That's what we're gonna talk about today. It's here. It's empathy. It's understanding people, understanding what they're going through. This is what stories are made of. Stories can be that all-purpose tool for you to promote your brand or explain what your purpose is.